Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's John Bice with eXp Real Estate, and I've got my famous insurance guy here, Jeff, and I refer all my business to Jeff, and he does a great job with my clients. And had so many questions since our last hurricane. Ian just blew through here, and wanted to ask Jeff some questions about it, what we can anticipate in the future for homeowners insurance, what's going on in the market, and we'll try to get some answers about that for you. So Jeff, how you doing this morning? I appreciate you being on.
I'm good, John. Thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. So I'm a Floridian. Are you a Floridian? Or
I'm from Alabama.
Are you? Okay. Well, I was born.
I've been here 20 years though. So.
Okay. Well, you're a native then. So I was born and raised in St. Pete, and Ian, besides Hurricane Andrew in 1992, Ian is the largest storm I remember. And certainly, well, I guess Andrew did a ton of damage too down in the Miami area. But what are some of the things that you're seeing from Andrew? What are some of the calls you're getting about damage? Can you fill us in a little bit on that?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Ian's the biggest storm I've dealt with, probably because it's closest to home, and a lot of phone calls, like you said, and phone calls from one extreme to the other, where a screen blew out up in St. Pete down to Fort Myers, Port Charlotte, where they literally don't have a house. Wow. So most of my phone calls are local to the Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, Manatee area, with some with minimal damage, some with, severe roof damage, things like that. So we've seen the entire spectrum with this storm.
Some of the videos I've seen, it's odd because it looks like to me, being a Floridian, that the most damage came from some of those houses that people own that were built in maybe the 60s and the 70s, because they'll pan across an area and you'll see 2 or 3 newer homes that are just standing there, look like they weren't even touched. And then these older homes that were just completely just annihilated. Is that some of the things you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. We see that a lot. And that's why you get the credits with the wind mitigation inspections, with the roof tie downs and everything up to code. So yeah, the new Florida building code is, one of the best in the country. And that's why. Ian is exactly why.
Yeah. Yeah. I when I'm working with the baby boomers that I work with, I do videos for them when their house is being built. And I tell them it's basically like a fort now, concrete block, roofs are strapped down. It's unbelievable. And they have to come with either hurricane shutters or you can do impact windows. So I was just at the Del Webb and Parrish. So Pulte Builders is going to upgrade all of their windows. Their homes are automatically moving forward, are going to come with the impact windows. So pretty cool.
That'll help. A lot of discount on that too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was telling you a little story earlier about State Farm. I had them years ago for homeowners insurance, and they dropped me. Now this is probably at least 10 years ago. So what happened with the larger insurance companies in the state? I mean, what's going on with that? I know some of them left the state, some of them are still here, but I mean, I got a quote from State Farm that was basically double, a little bit more than double what I'm paying right now. So what's up with that?
Yeah, a lot of the larger companies don't want the business in Florida. It's not desirable as far as a profit goes. Some pull out, some don't write any business, some cancel policies, some raise rates. It's just what the management of that individual company wants to do. So pulling out of the state of Florida, I think, is bad press for a lot of them. So they just raise the rates, and they don't really want to write the business, but they'll take it if it's a high premium, like in your situation.
Yeah. I was shocked because my insurance had just climbed up. But when she came back and told me double, I'm like, I'm good. I think I'll stay right here. So I was a little shocked because I'm thinking bigger companies, better premiums. But as you said, I guess they just don't want the business.
Yeah, a lot of the national companies that are nationwide don't have the numbers and the background of Florida insurance and the storms that, in Florida, you have to charge a certain premium in order to stay in business. And people hate that. But the average homeowner's insurance in Florida, I believe the last time I read, it was $4,300.
Wow.
So now we have a lot of homes that are on the water, $1 million homes that skew that number a little bit.
Right.
I would say the average in this area is for a normal home, not a brand new home, is going to be, $2,000, $2,500.
So when you talk about the new home construction, a lot of people obviously moving into the Lakewood Ranch area. I mean, just in general, ballpark, what can people expect on a homeowner's policy in the Lakewood Ranch area?
A brand new home in Lakewood Ranch is going to run you between $1,000 and $1,500 a year, depending on the value, the cost of rebuild. I see homes in Lakewood Ranch from 300,000 up to, 3 million, depending on, the neighborhood that it's in. So that's a hard question to ask, but I would say for the normal everyday homeowners, I see, $1,500, maybe a little bit less, if it's on the lower end of that. So it's hard to answer that question directly without more information, but that should give most people an idea. There are no more premiums of homeowners that are less than $1,000 a year. It doesn't happen.
So with Lakewood Ranch not being in a flood zone, but people wanted to get flood insurance. I mean, what kind of average rate would that cost them?
Last year, October 1st, flood insurance changed for the preferred risk zones, which is your X zone. I am a terrible flood insurance salesperson in that situation. I generally tell people that if it makes you sleep better at night, then it doesn't break the bank, then you need to have it, because Florida is a flood zone, period. We're surrounded on 3 sides by water. We have, downpours that last hours and hours and hours, and floods described as rising water. So if it rises from the outside in and affects, I believe it's 2 or more acres or 2 or more properties, that's flood damage, which is not included in a typical homeowner's policy. We used to be able to get preferred risk flood insurance for a flat rate. It was the same no matter where you were. Now that's different. Since October 1st of last year, FEMA changed its rating, and it's based on proximity to the water, age of the home, square footage. There's a lot more things that go into it. We see Lakewood Ranch area, if you go preferred flood, private flood, we see premiums as low as $400, $450. If you're close to the water and you're still in that X zone, it's even higher. It goes up. So the Venice, Inglewood area that's in preferred flood zones are well over $1,000.
Wow.
So there's a big spectrum, wide range.
So looking at your crystal ball with this huge storm that just came past us, I mean, how do you think Ian is going to affect us long-term with rates?
Rates are going up. Let's not hide the fact that they're going to go up. It'll take a while before they go up, because these companies have to assess damage, how much their payouts were, if they're going to be in the hole, if they're even going to be in business next year.
Yeah.
And then they'll file with the state of Florida accordingly for rate changes so that they can stay in business.
Wow. Yeah. This is crazy. I've seen some of those videos of the damage. I've got a couple of friends that their homes were destroyed by these storms, and it's odd because I don't joke about it, but I grew up in St. Pete in a wood frame home, and literally the only way we knew that a hurricane was coming, we had one channel to watch, and my dad would start getting lanterns and the camping stove out, and that's how we knew a hurricane was coming, and we just sat there and watched it go by. We had a radio to listen to, and that was
probably better, actually. It's like being stalked by a turtle when those things are coming.
Yeah.
It's coming, but you have no idea where it's really going to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ian was a prime example of that. We were in the path for a long time, and it took a hard turn south.
Yeah. Yeah. From way Tampa area all the way down. But I try to talk to people about that, because I say, the further south you go, the more risk you have of getting direct hits. At Naples area, they can come across the state, up the state, anywhere. So, but anyway, so one of the big topics out there right now, I just replaced my roof in January. I had 3 roofers look at it. It was 19 years old. There was nothing wrong with my roof, but it was 19 years old. So I replaced it. The big talk and scam out there now are these people that are getting roofs put on for free. So what I don't really understand what's going on, what they're doing. So what's happening there?
Yeah, so probably it actually almost coincided with the whole COVID thing. Obviously nothing to do with that, but time frame wise, we had roofers and contractors door knocking on the neighborhoods that were 15 to 20 years old, and basically knocking on doors and saying, hey, we had a storm last night, let us check your roof. We may be able to get it for the cost of your deductible. And people are ignorant to that kind of stuff. They don't know any better, so they were saying, sure, go up there. And then of course the roofers come down and say, yep, there's damage, of course, here, sign this, we can take care of it for you. And what they're doing is actually signing over their insurance policy to the roofer. So
Wow.
all of these roof claims that, I say fraudulent claims, who knows, but an influx of them came in overnight. And when insurance companies start to go against those claims and dispute them, it costs them money as far as attorneys. They have to get attorneys involved. So the insurance companies were just paying these claims, and it really got out of hand, so much so that the governor said that roofers are no longer allowed to solicit homeowners directly.
Yeah.
So it's helped a little bit. We've seen it slow down a little bit, and then we have a hurricane.
Yeah.
So,
well, ironically, when I was having roofers come out and look at my roof, guy across the street, somebody was looking at his, guy comes over and knocks on the door. I'm like, yeah, take a look at it. Got off my roof. There's all kind of chalk marks up there and everything. Told me how damaged my roof was and everything. And then two more roofers come and like, your roof's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, he said something to me about some, they handle all the insurance. I was like, yeah, no, yeah, I'm good.
yeah,
So,
the good people pay for the rest of it. That's the way insurance works with claims when
yeah.
that kind of thing happens.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I got to tell you, everybody that is coming to the area, building a home or buying a resale, I'm telling them to call you, but I tell them to use a Florida insurance person, because you get somebody out in California trying to write a policy for Florida insurance. I mean, it's just a different ball game, right?
sure, yeah, absolutely. Somebody licensed in the state of Florida who lives here, walks the streets with you is important.
Yeah.
An independent agent like myself that can shop multiple companies, for you. And we don't get any kickbacks. We don't have a company behind us saying, sell this product, do this, do that. And we literally just write insurance for our clients' benefit,
Mm-hmm.
and do the right thing. So, I've always told people that I write insurance the way that my house is written, and it allows me to sleep good at night. I feel good about what I do. If I have a situation that's different than what I normally do, it's well documented and some extra forms are signed if there's a situation where the client wants something that I don't normally do.
Yeah.
And if it's way off, there's plenty of other agents out there that'll write a policy,
Yeah.
just any old way. So I'm in it for the long term, relationships, multi-policy, home, auto, flood, umbrella, you name it. I want to build a client base like that instead of just a turn and burn agency where we're just writing policies for.
Right. Right. Well, Jeff, I appreciate it. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you if they have questions about their current policy or they're moving here? How should they reach out to you?
Oh, sure. Office number is 941-212-2221. It always rings. It always gets return phone calls. If we don't answer the phone, we'll always call you back within 24 hours. So
That's awesome. How about if they want to shoot you an email? What's your email address?
email is Jeff, Jeff at Blue Marlin, blue like the color, Marlin like the fish, and then INS like insurance.com.
All right. Jeff, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you talking to me about this and getting information out there, because that's something I tell people. I'm not an insurance agent. I know just enough to be dangerous. So call my guy, Jeff. He'll answer all the questions correctly for you. So, but I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And we'll be talking to you very soon.
All right. Thank you, John. I appreciate you having me on.
All right. You shouldn't want to stop.